Okay, I wanted to do a different type of video. Basically, I think this is something that needs to be discussed. It's not discussed at all. And I think it's a reason why a lot of traders are not profitable. Now, we all know about risk management. We've seen a lot of that discussed, mostly, risk 1 to 2% per trade, to make sure that you pretty much basically trades to doom is what they call it. Or how many trades you have to doom would be 100. If you had 2%, it would be 50. Okay, but I think a lot of people don't talk about the missing link or the thing that most traders don't think about, because majority of traders now, everybody's looking at somebody's size, how much they're trading with. They're trading with 10 contracts, 50 contracts, 100 contracts. Well, my thing is, what is your risk reward? Okay, one, you need to know what your win ratio is. So let's say you have a win ratio of 50%. So that means that 1 out of 2, you pretty much you get right. Okay, you're able to say, okay, if I get 1 out of 2, I'm doing good, which is a great win ratio, by the way. I mean, top guys are doing, these top traders are doing 40-50%. So don't get it wrong. But what do you have to do in order to make money? And I think that's what's not looked at. So you take that one, you divide, this is how you do it, 50%. That means that in order for you to make money, you have to go better than 2 to 1 as your risk reward ratio. You have to do better than that. Okay, let's say you have a 60%. Okay, this is stuff that is not talked about often. Okay, you do 60%. That means that you have to do at least 1.66. But let's say you do the normal. Let's say you do 1 divided by 40%. Okay, you have to do 2.5 or better. That's where I am. But I round up. I need to get 3 to 1 or better to make money. So how does this equate to a trade? Okay, so let's say you're risking $100. Okay, if you risk $100, you peel off one of the dollar, you're only making $100. So if you have 2 trades and your win ratio is what you say, you're pretty much a break even. But let's say you have 1 trade that goes against you and 1 that doesn't. Okay, and you have 2.5, right? So the one that you took, let's say we did $1, we risked $1. Let's say on Apple, we risked $1, but I lost $100. But when I won $250. You should not scale out until you hit your number. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And I think that's why a lot of people don't make money trading, is because they can't hold. Once they get profit, they start to scale. And once you scale out before this number, your win ratio actually gets worse. And your risk reward ratio actually gets worse. So that's something that you need to think about. Okay, so if you're willing to risk $1, so let's say this trade, right here, you get in at above, let's say you're risking the low. So let's say it's $1 risk. That's the reason why I use this. Okay, you got to look at this and say, okay, if this is, let's say this is 91, right here, you get in here at 91, you're going to take out at 92, but you're risking $1 below, and you're not going to risk the extra $1. You probably put a couple cents below this. You can't risk that. You're not going to make any money. So let's say you have to wait till 2 to 1. Okay, so you add 91, 2 to, let's say me, I'm doing 3 to 1. So I got to wait till it gets to, or let's say 2.5, just what I did, right? 2.5. I need it to be in the money, $2.50 up here before I start taking off or scaling some profit. That's not unreasonable, okay? You can look at this chart and say it's the daily. You take that shit off, and let's say it's a 5-minute chart. You can't risk only that amount and then start scaling once you start seeing green. Because then you don't understand is that most people want to have a lot of contracts, say, oh, I made a lot of money. I made $1,000, but I traded 20 contracts. Who gives a shit if you traded 20 contracts? I'm trying to get $4 out of 5 contracts. I'm trying to get it so I'm getting the most out of each contract versus trading a lot, because the only person you're really going to get rich is your broker. And a lot of people don't understand is that profit management is probably one of the most it's not looked at by the masses. They don't look at that. They just look at the risk, which is great because you have to have risk management. But if you're gonna make money, that's why those hedge fund managers and stuff like that, they're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11 a month. You're looking at trend follower guys, yeah, they might get dinged, 1%, 2%, but they're trying to hold out for like 20 to 1. Okay, each running position, and that's how they make money. if the trend is in your way, like this is, if the trend was in your favor, okay? But that's not neither here or there. Focus on what is your win ratio. And if you don't know, go to your broker. They should have something that you can kind of see where your wins and your losses are. Take that number, divide by 1. That's what you have to make per contract in order to make money. Okay, so let's say I'm 40%. Okay, and yes, most of the internet people are not going to tell you that, because they're going to tell you they win 100% of the time. They don't post their losers. That's bullshit. Okay, people need to understand that people do lose, and it's a part of the game. It is literally a part of the game. So get used to it. But you can't have, if you have 5 winners, 5 losers, total 10 trades, you're break even. If you have 2.5, you're making 750. You made $250 because you lost 500, but you made, I think, what, 750 on the winners. So you're up. You're up for the day. Now my math might be off. I'm doing it on the fly, but just start to think about that with your trading, because a lot of people don't get it. They don't get that I had 1 or 2 winners, but I'm peeling off so fucking quick that I can't make any money. And that's the thing that people need to understand, is that you have to be able to look at what your win. The way you can manage that, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can manage. You could, you could go to 2 to 1. You could go to break even. You go to 1 to 1. You could take off half and roll your stop up halfway, and then you got to let the rest of them run. That puts you to break even, by the way. But you got to look at that stuff. You got to look at, why am I not making money? And my win ratio is supposedly, you read all the blogs and stuff, they say 50% is good. Yeah, but why am I not making money? Because you're not holding long enough to make money based on how much you're risking. So if you're risking $1 and you're coming off at $1.25, you're not going to make any money. Okay, it's just going to churn your account. You're going to be really frustrated, quite honestly. It might seem hard, but if you can't get your number, so let's say you go into a trade and you say, shit, I'm risking $1, I can only get $1.75. You have to skip that trade, because you have to take trades that can make you money. And that's what people don't realize. So again, this is a totally different, usually I just do the daily recap, but I kind of want to do something, because this was presented to me and I didn't realize until I had like a 1 out of 4 day and I made money. Okay, I had a 2 out of 5 day and I made good money. Why? Because on the 3 I risked, let's say 100 a pop, right? I risked that, but on the 2 I got 3 to 1. So I lost 300, but I made 600. So I made 300 for the day. I'm just using very round numbers and stuff like that, but you need to understand that, because you will not make money. And I think this is the little secret, or the little thing that is overlooked by a ton of different blogs and stuff like that. Hopefully I could title this video well enough that it gets to a lot of people, because I know what I do. I didn't create this channel to, I'm not going to be, have 1 million hits or something like that. I'm just looking for people that can kind of understand and don't want to get any BS. And trust me, this is something that you need to look at, what your win ratio is, and then have a hard conversation with yourself. I don't care if you're intraday, weekly, daily. I don't care if you're all right, what is my win? If I'm 50%, how much do I have to make money? When I get into a trade, can I make my target of 2 to 1, 3 to 1, or whatever? Can it get there based on the chart? You can't just say I risk $1 and then the shit is going sideways. That's not how it works. Is the chart seeing that it is actually feasible? If it is, then you could take the trade. And this is what a lot of people are not getting. And I think if you have any questions, you can email me at MaximusAnalysis@gmail.com, and I have no problem answering a couple questions. But think about it. Just think about it and think deeply. Profit management is something that is not talked about, and it's probably not talked about because at the end of the day, a lot of people are making commissions and trying to, you can't just keep scaling. Everybody, it sounds sexy to scale. Oh, I'm scaling off half. I'm scaling off half. Yeah, you got 1,000 contracts and you're scaling off half at 20 cents. It's a fucking $300 stop. Dude, I mean, shit, really? Why don't you trade less contracts, try to get more out of it? And because people are not looking at this stuff. So again, take care. I'm ranting right now. I'm going on. So think about it. Think about it. This is, again, my channel is to promote thought. Think about it. Take care.